Douglas, what are you doing? Come on, Douglas, what are you doing? All right, this is going to be the next series of videos. This is an operating session day today. I had one on April 1st, and now it's April 15th. We're having the second operating session. This will be a group from the Richmond area that I normally go down and operate with them also. And I'm going to try video throughout this and try to give us an op session video. So this is my dispatcher station. It's got basic instructions on how to fill out his log, how to fill out a Form 19. We only use Form 19s. I've tried it using Form 19s and clearance Form A's and stuff like that. People just, it's too much paperwork. So Form 19 is pretty easy to fill out. And basically the dispatcher has a log here. He has the map of the system and a line diagram that tells you where every place is. He has a little magnet so he can take the train symbols and kind of figure out where they are on this. It's all magnetic. And then he has the Form 19s, which he can hand out at the beginning of the section for people. And then we have a phone, because I have a phone system here now, so we can call from the different operator stations at Yarmouth, Brunswick, Augusta, and Lewiston Lower. For some of the trains we have set up, this is the Lewiston Lower term. Normally I run this from Lewiston Lower to Brunswick Yard. And there's Brunswick Yard over there. But today we're going to run opposite. We're going to run Lewiston Lower, and then the train will come back to Brunswick. And just trying to do that because Brunswick tends to be pretty congested during the op session. So if we get them out of here first, and he can go down over to Lewiston Lower, he can do his switching down, you know, all the way out and all the way back, and then do the Lewiston Lower spotting of cars, and that should probably take the two people a whole session. I have a pocket train here, I'd like to call it. This is a work extra, and if I need to, I'll assign that to somebody. And then up here on the upper level, come out of Waterville, so we have WG4, which has the 580 on the front end. So he'll work Statler Tissue, and then he'll work all of the Augusta Industries. He won't go out to Gardner today. There's WG2. He's actually down in the Helix, so I'll pull him out a little later on. And then we have BR4, and we're running 1980 here, so there was some sharing of power at that point. This is right after Guilford. I know I'm saying a nasty word there, but anyway, right after. And it was kind of neat to see some Boston and Maine Central power mixed. There's the 228, and then the train is actually curled down into the Helix, and then down there you can see a WG2 with a Fantasy Delaware and Hudson engine that I basically stenciled out or added a number and put the Portland Terminal logo on it, and I just like the engine and the sound of it, so we're going to use that this session. In Augusta, and getting ready to head out, is SR2, and this is the Augusta to Rigby turn. I've got a full train here, I think, of 25 cars, and that's the limit for this train. It's 30 cars for the mainline trains. I probably should make this one 20 cars, but I like long trains. So he's got some work to do in Richmond, which is these last 3 cars. And then he's going down to Brunswick, and he'll drop a bunch of cars, pick up a bunch of cars, and then head to Rigby. And if there's any Yarmouth Junction drop-offs, he'll drop off stuff there. So he's a pretty full train. And then these tracks behind here have cars headed for westbound, the Rigby or Grand Trunk on the Yarmouth Junction section. Out of Augusta, we have a couple of cars that have to be spotted on out in Gardner and Caboose County, and if WG2 gets run during this section, he'll pick up these and run them out there. From Brunswick Yard, I have a good amount of cars in here, so you can see down here at the card, we have Rigby bound cars right here, which are the back track. Then we have Waterville bound cars on track 14. Rockland bound cars, so Rockland train will come out and pull these out. And then we have Rigby and Yarmouth Junction bound cars, and then we also have track 8 for anything extra. Sometimes it gets full here. I've purposely pulled off about 15 or 20 cars from the last session because it got to the point where Brunswick Yard was so full that we couldn't do anything with it. And I may still have to pull off some more, but we'll see how today's session runs. Waterville station, I have a eastbound RB1 here in case I have to run that train. And behind it, you can just barely see the cars over there, is the second Bangor to Rigby train. And then the last train we have staged here is RB3, and he will be run. He'll start out early in the session. And he's kind of short here, but I suspect he's going to pick up quite a few cars between here and Waterville staging. This is Yarmouth Junction, where I do interchange with the Grand Trunk. I have a switcher here, and he's actually got his own throttle over here. And what we use him to do is to move cars back and forth, because cars will be pulled out of here on trains going east or westbound, and then cars will be put in, and he's used to get the cars between the back track there through this crossover onto this track, so that they can be interchanged. Or if they've come in and we've got more interchange that has to go out, he'll take them off this track and put them and hook them up to that caboose over there. So he goes across the crossover, and he does have a bit of a lead right there to work on. And then there's another track right there, which will be trains that are westbound. They can drop their Grand Trunk cars here, but they'll stay here. They won't go anywhere, and they won't get switched, because it's just a stub track for dropping off cars.
Some of us don't have one.
All right, here we got SR2, which is the Augusta Rigby turn coming around, and the crew right here operating.
Where's Rigby, John? Yeah, down. It's
You guys walk where you want. I'm just.
So we're a long way from here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to come here.
No, you're not coming there. You're going across this way.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no helix here. The helix is over there. Ah, we've got the bridge now. Good.
Do you now understand why I said you're going to get the cars on the back end is where the Richmond cars are?
Okay, and then the cars that we leave, we put their cards in the off spot.
Set
out.
Set out, yeah.
Okay, so those two are done. That's okay. You got that. You go back there to push them when they fail.
Yep.
It's actually the far track that's off it.
Okay.
Okay.
Our orders this time, after BR2 goes by,
BR4.
BR2.
Well, that's...
It's BR, Bangor Rigby. Don't worry about the number.
Yeah.
Don't get tied up in the number.
Yeah.
What does the S stand for?
That's Augusta's. Each letter's a location.
okay,
So S is
okay.
Augusta, R is
Okay.
Rigby.
Right, and B is Bangor.
Yep.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. After they pass, we have permission to go from Richmond, where we're at now, to Brunswick. So we're moving from Brunswick.
Fine Brunswick.
Lower level Brunswick.
Is that recording sound?
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
I was going to say, you could actually take
Are we
a picture
supposed
of
to
us
put this
hanging our
bridge
heads
back
in
up
shame
again?
for running past.
We go
You're fine.
We go through this helix, you come to the first turnout, and we'll have to get permission from John, then it's your...
There was a duck is under. Duck unders from Australia, isn't it?
Ken, where's the bridge that you said you were going to tear out?
Over there in the corner by the electrical box. That whole East Augusta area is going to come out and be rebuilt. It's an operational error. It used to be those, for whatever reason, the cameras are starting to die, and I don't know why. I've got to troubleshoot that.
I think it's just a label for it, but it says video wall. On the right.
Yeah.
Well, we have to do that because I'm right on 10 at the fire department, and there's stuff that, yeah, you don't want to know. Okay, what are we doing there, Rick?
So
The railroads
we got-
pitched a bitch when Washington D.C. said, we don't want that shit coming underneath the Capitol through the tunnels.
Oh yeah, of course.
18?
There you go.
You want me
That's
to
good.
go down and grab them from the other end? Because that.
Well, the problem is well, this car and the car in the middle down there.
Are going to 18?
I mean, you can grab the you can go on this side, grab it from
Well, here, let's do. Let me grab this and stick it here. Grab it.
It's on the wrong
Oh,
side.
it's on the wrong side. All right,
Just go down.
so I'll go down.
Just do it from this other side. So it's fine.
On my way.
Did I see inclines between the third and this media? Which track are we
Rick, you want me to grab this first thing and grab that one? Stick it back in?
Yeah.
This is cool. I can't do this myself by myself. Have two trains running at the same time.
Stop before the end of the silent
You gotta wait for them to get past.
I'll tell you.
So I kind of gave you guys, I didn't think this through when I put two-man crews in. Somebody should have been in here and made up the outgoing train before you guys got here. But so I don't think there should be a problem with the switch too much. I think what happened was that train I had 30 cars on was probably a little too heavy. At the bottom of the helix, it's probably pushing the cars off. It's probably what was really happening. Notes to make trains shorter.
Who said this switch was right? You're in the wrong, yeah, you wanted that.
Hold it, Bob. Hold it. Hold it.
Okay, so we're gonna wait here.
You have no work at all until period. Until you get to the all right, it's far or
Not go all the way to the head of the track because there's no room to push back here.
So we are busy in Augusta right now.
I mean the hopper.
There you go. Really will.
Okay, go all the way back.
Yeah. No,
Clear
no,
little
no.
bob here.
Yeah. Come on back. Because if that's enough to do the turnout, then you're good.
Oh. Okay, come forward.
Okay, I'll go for more orders.
All right, op session's over. We ran every single train. Now it's time to go around and flip cards and make sure everything's in spots that it's supposed to be. There's the second Gardner turn in Gardner. Basically, after 3 hours, this is where it got, and it's prepared to go back towards Waterville. Lewiston Lower set together pretty well. Again, we'll have to do some car cards flipping here and get them ready to go. The Pajupe Scott, I can't even talk. Pajupe Scott paper mill. Looks like they're a little low on pulpwood cars. Here's something to look at. Looking good there. Got some pulpwood cars there, so we need to put some loads on there for the next op session. Right there we see the tail end of the Lewis and Lower turn. We see the tail end of the Rockland train. Those are all going to get pulpwood put on them. Yarmouth Junction. We've got cars sitting here that need to go out in the next op session. Caboose. Looking good there. Again, we'll have to flip cards and move things along. Hollowell. I think I've got a disparity here. Cars aren't too many over in here, but that's fine. Got a new unload at the Feed and Farm Supply Incorporated, Swanson's. Come over here, we see the front end of the Lewis Lower turn getting ready to do his work in Brunswick Yard. The work train, we didn't run that, but we didn't need to. We had plenty of work for everybody. That's more of a pocket train for somebody to do something if we get done too late. Statler Tissue. Looks like we had a full swap out of cars there. Most of the work that had to be done at East Augusta was done. We have another RB Freight at the top of the helix. He's up here, so I don't have to do his resetting in the stage, and I'll back him into Augusta and figure out how to set those cars up for the next session. However, before the next session, this whole section here is getting taken out and redone. I think I said that at the beginning of the video, or I may not have, all the way up to over here. There's a problem when I first built the layout, and that section of bench work is about 3/4 of an inch lower than this section, and the curves are just a little too tight here. So when I built it, I wasn't paying close enough attention there, and rather than trying to put the right curve in there, I tried to make it fit the space, and I've made this kind of an operational issue, especially here where we have the curve turnout. This curve turnout not only is a curve turnout, but it's also, if you can see that, it's a vertical curve. It goes down for about 3/4 inches from where the switch points are to where the end of the switch is over here. So I've known that for a while, but I'm going to bite the bullet and do that work here between now and the next op session. Come down here, Brunswick, it has another Bangor to Rigby freight sitting in here. So this was the second Bangor to Rigby freight that we ran. And up here we have the first Gardner turn, and he was just about ready to reset his cars when I stopped the session. So and feedback from the operators was they had a great time. I obviously am happy about that. The all the work is still not getting done, so part of my problems and is the operators don't know what I know, and sometimes I make assumptions about that in instructions. But in Augusta here, these tracks here that I'm showing you right now are used for where I put Rigby bound freight and anything going east. And then these tracks here, there's a couple of tracks here that I use, and this is local freight cars that are going to be worked by the Gardner turns. And anything that's going to Waterville, Now the layout is kind of balanced, so most of the traffic is going to Rigby, because in reality on the lower road it was the Rigby bound freights that went down the lower road. But I do have Bangor bound freights that are shorter that go between staging and the Waterville station, just to give you that extra added operating. So. But the other comment was, is I thought maybe they, on the Bangor and the RB freights, the Rigby to Bangor to Rigby freights, and SR2, which was 25 cars long, were too long, and I got immediately feedback that no, they aren't too long. They love the fact that they run these long freights. So all good. So that's it for the April. We've got April 1st and 15th. We had operating sessions. This was the second operating session. This was a gang of people from Richmond that I know very well and have been operating with them for years. And but we have some work to do here on this one section of the layout. I do want to get the scenery finished all in, and I'm glad I haven't finished the Brunswick East End, because this whole deck up here is going to be redone. And unfortunately, all the work I put into making this bridge, hopefully I can salvage it and use it when I rebuild it here, but I'm not sure if the way I do it's going to allow that. We'll see. Anyway, this is video, I think, number 10 of 2023. Everybody have a great time. We'll see you in a couple weeks. And there's Barbie. She's wondering what's going on today. How you doing, Barbie? What you need, Barbie? What's going on, huh? You's a good girl today, huh? All right.